difficult what I am telling now. But they tried kill their babies. Kill the babies. You think what I am telling you, but that was better than to let the Nazis experiment about the babies. If our generation is gone, it's gone. And this story should not and cannot be forgotten for one reason, that it should not repeat itself. That is the last time the photo what I had before the Holocaust. My younger brother and sister were killed in Auschwitz.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 2022.
Number is 18,572. That is what I was. I didn't call me, I was not my name. We were not humans. We were only a number. And we were taken also only for a number.
98-year-old Lily Ebert is extraordinary. And she and her grandson, or great-grandson in fact, have made millions of people, many of them young people, engaged in the story of the Holocaust. And a few months ago published a book, Lily's Promise, which I thoroughly recommend, sharing their story and their relationship, particularly about Lily's experiences during the Holocaust. And we're here today to conduct this interview on the occasion of Yom Hashoah, which is hosted by the South African Jewish Board of Deputies. So Lily, if we might begin, can you tell us a little bit about your childhood home in Hungary, and maybe share about this gift of the beautiful angel necklace that you're wearing today?
Yes, I will. I had my best parents in the world, what anybody could only dream of. I had a very nice childhood. We were a nice Jewish family with 6 children. I am the oldest.
Amazing. And you were gifted by your parents for a birthday?
Yeah, with my nice little golden pendant, a little angel.
Then, particularly for the Jews of Hungary, the Holocaust came a bit later, and you were aware of the war, but it wasn't as difficult from 1939 as it was for more Western European countries. So probably early 1944, do you want to tell us how your life changed?
When they invaded, then the war was really already over. 99% of Jewish population of Europe was already dead. We thought, we know it is the war is all over. We were sure that we will survive. But not that happened.
And then you were rounded up for the ghetto in your town?
First, we were rounded up for the ghetto. Yeah. When we were in the ghettos, then we have to leave our nice homes, and inside the home, a house, we had to, families lived in one room. Then one day they said, we have to come very quick. They gave us a half an hour. You can pack something. You will come. You will be sent to work.
And how old were you, Lily, at that age?
On that date, I was 20. We could take very little with us, but I liked so much, and that was the present for my mother. We know there's something that should be hidden. gold we should not take. So my brother, he hid it in my mother's shoes heel.
In the heel of your mother's shoe, amazing.
Yeah, but when we arrived, I don't know why. Why my mother said we should change shoes, and that it is that this little golden angel survived Auschwitz. But quite a lot of people asked that, how can that be? It is impossible. And they are right, because they took away the shoes as well. But it looks like they don't have enough shoes anymore, so they keep our shoes.
Unbelievable.
And like that, it's survived.
And tell us about the day you arrived in Auschwitz.
So when we arrived, we were already half dead. When we arrived, a man was standing with a stick in his hand, a movement. He sent people or to right or to left. People who were sent to the right, they were straight taken to the crematorium. But we did not know what happens.
And your mother and your youngest brother and sister?
Was taken from one side. And I, with my two younger sisters, were to the other side. And that was the last time when I saw my mother and my sister. I was the eldest, and I had to look after my sisters.
It's an extraordinary story of courage. What do you think, where do you think you found the courage, Lily?
Because I promised for my father I will look after my sisters. Not for much before when my father got ill.
So before your father was unwell?
I have to do it. I must do it. And thank God, God gave me. God looked for us, and I survived with my sister.
You survived, but you also made a promise to yourself while you were in Auschwitz.
Yeah, that was my second promise. I promised, if I survive that, I will tell the world. I will change the world. I thought I will change the world. Change the world, I could not. But I tried what I can do. And today, it is over 70 years, but it happened. But even today, I talk in different organizations, in school, in parliament, everywhere.
So Dov, you came up with the idea of your great-grandmother, beautiful Lily, being able to share her story. And tell us a little bit about that journey. Why did you think that a few sentences on a social media platform would be effective?
As a young person, I'm often taught to be wary of the dangers of social media. Hate and misinformation and Holocaust denial and anti-Jewish racism, but racism of all kinds, spreads like wildfire on social media. But I recognised that there was a space that was missing, a space for education, and a space not only for education, but to combat the deniers, to combat the misinformation, to combat the people who say that the Holocaust never happened, or that Hitler missed the Holocaust survivor. And I realised that there's a void that needs to be filled, and we should be the ones that can do that. Somehow my great-grandmother's found words to, she says it in the book, you can't explain the unexplainable, but she has to. So she finds those words to do so. And I thought, well, if people can go viral on TikTok or Twitter for dancing and playing with their dogs and cats, then we can too, for spreading these important messages. And thankfully the response we've had has been very overwhelmingly positive.
And has making these videos changed the relationship between the two of you?
I think.
Became nearer.
Yeah.
You came closer?
Closer.
We spend nearly every day together.
That is the word.
Yeah.
And we've had incredible the impact and not only the impact but the outcome of some of our videos has been unbelievable. So to share those moments together is really, really special. And we're invited to Buckingham Palace to meet with Prince Charles, who wrote the foreword to our book, and it's moments like those that we'll remember forever, but even more so the moments where we're just able to spend Shabbat together or sit here together now sharing these important stories. I can't even say how honoured I am to have that responsibility, to know that I'm going to continue my great-grandmother's torch and hopefully light millions of other people, young people's torches across the world.
Couldn't have said it better.
And I want to something say now for the whole world. What is the most important thing? Never ever give up hope. Because without hope you cannot live. Because you see, I was so deep down. I was not human. I was not taken for human. It doesn't look that I will survive. And now it is 70 years later. And I am here. And I can tell, and luckily, God gave me, I can tell even my story, what it happened, to help, to give something for the world, and say, most important it is, live with hope.
What I'm really happy about is that we're not only reaching people in the UK, and it's not only Jewish people. Of course, this event is for Jewish people, predominantly, I think, in South Africa, but the amount of non-Jewish people who have never heard about the Holocaust, of course we're very lucky both in South Africa and in the UK that it's mandated that you have to learn about the Holocaust in schools. But many countries it's not. Majority of America it's not on a federal level, it's on the state level, so half of the states don't even teach about the Holocaust. And in America we get questions on TikTok such as, why did you choose Auschwitz? If it was a camp, why didn't you go to a different camp? And these people aren't being racist, they just don't know. And so I'm so glad that we're able to reach out to those people specifically and educate, because those are the people that need to know. Those are the people that in 20 years' time might encounter a denier and say, oh, you might be right, it might never have happened. And the reason they might say that is because they wouldn't have heard a Holocaust survivor. They wouldn't have read books. And that's why it's so important.
And have engaged with,
exactly,
with Lily. I think you said it so beautifully here. You said Lily's story is becoming part of me. It's hard to explain. I don't just know it, I feel it deep inside. How do you feel as a survivor of 98, knowing that your great-grandson says he doesn't just know your story, he feels it deep inside?
Because that is not a story. That is life. And life you have to feel.
Lily, we invited to come to South Africa, and Lily would love to come to South Africa.
Very much I would.
But Dov is in the middle of his A-levels, and they were going to come together. So Lily's encouraging me to say maybe next year.
But quick do it.